our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Raise up a white flag. Didn't come this far just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait and see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
It's explosive. You can't control this, no. I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on a battlefield, a survivor never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shake. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat of my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive. can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Click It RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Click It RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
SimRacerHub.com Challenge Winter Series rolls in to 2024. Second day of 2024 in January, and we welcome you to the SRH Hangover Nationals. The trucks at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway in that super speedway format. Good evening. Coverage of iRacing on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outland. Jason Rockefeller, good to have you back in the booth, my friend. Hope you're having a good start to the new year. Charles Wooten, as always, punching the buttons in that production studio in Texas. And Jason, we're going to have twin 40s tonight. Obviously, it's going to be a fun race here. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, man. Happy New Year to everybody along, with yourself, Wesley, and Charles, and to all your families and friends. Man, I'm ready for this one. And to be honest with you, I really thought we were going to be racing the old Atlanta tonight, and then Charles told me we were racing the new Atlanta. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to get exciting. And this track, Wesley, it's not even really that new anymore. If you think about it, 2 years have already almost passed since this track was reconfigured at the end of 2021 to get ready for this super speedway style mile and a half that Marcus Smith and all the people at SMI came up with. And boy, oh boy, these previous 2 years that we've seen both in 2022 and in 2023 have been exciting with the trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series, and also in the sim racing world.
Atlanta Motor Speedway, special place in my heart. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Right now, let's take a look at the front TV race information tonight. Obviously, twin 40-lap races, no attempts at overtime, whatever, for green, white checker. No fast repair, 100% fuel capacity, and one extra set of tires if need be. Atlanta is a special place because when I first started announcing in NASCAR in 2016, I had the privilege to work with, obviously, the late Ken Squire, Ozzy Altman, up in the announcer booth at Atlanta Motor Speedway for a couple of seasons. And then, of course, they redid the racetrack to what it is today, and it mimics Daytona, it mimics Talladega, and that super speedway tandem drafting, if you will, format. And I think we're going to see that here now as we continue to build up the numbers and we watch Stan Carnathan to roll around and put down a good qualifying lap. But I'll tell you another thing, Jason, you got to ride up the wall up against that safer barrier a lot around the New Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, Wesley, the way that I looked at this, when they announced that the plans were going to be for this racetrack, and then when they went out and a few drivers were testing it, we saw all the videos on social media, and then that first initial race back in the spring of 2022, I thought to myself, you know something? This reminds me almost of a lot of old Daytona, right before the 2011 repave from Daytona. Remember, it used to be bumpy. You could be fast. You always had to play in the draft, but you had to have a good handling race car, or race truck rather, and that's kind of how this one plays out here. The tires can wear, you can get tight, you can get loose off the corners. If you want to make sure that you have a good race tonight, obviously avoid the big crashes, because we're going to see it, because this is now the tightest super speedway we go to, because it's only 1.5 miles compared to Daytona and Talladega that are both over 2 miles in length. They're wide, they're fast, they're bigger, badder, faster, but still the same characteristics are brought from those two super speedways into what is now the new Atlanta Motor Speedway, and you have to make sure that you're feeling really good with the handle of your race truck here tonight.
Qualifying clock down to 7 minutes. Let's bring in producer, director Charles Wooten. Charles, what you got for us, man, as we get ready to go here in Atlanta? By the way, Michael Garone Jr. just went to the top of the board.
Honestly, I got nothing to say with the racing. You were talking about stuff special to you. So I just wanted to, and by the way, they'll never know I said this because my parents don't watch our sim races. I don't even know if they like racing for that matter. But tomorrow is my parents' anniversary, so I want to wish them a happy anniversary. Again, they'll never hear this, so they'll never know I said it, but y'all are my witnesses that I did say it.
Happy anniversary to the Wootens. Many, many more years to come. Michael Sturgill on the racetrack to qualify now. That number 6 position. Senior Joseph Plager just went up to the number 2 spot. As qualifying is rolling on here. There's Ryan Bloom, couple of wins this year for the Monster Energy. Man of the Northwest, former Northwest ARCA champion. The number 22 machine. Sturgill, Steck, Garone, Plager, Carnathan right now. Your top 5 with just about 5 minutes remaining. Jason in qualifying here in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta Motor Speedway is really a difficult place now to qualify ever since the reconfiguration, because you can kind of treat it like the Daytona and Talladega style, where you ride up all the way to the outside wall on your initial lap, and then your second lap you want to make sure that you're trying to really run that bottom as much as possible. But you think about it, you can't run it like the same with Daytona and Talladega. You see Ryan Bloom right here on his second lap. He's not going all the way up to the wall. He's not going all the way to the bottom and hooking that red and white double line like you would see on the double yellow at Daytona and Talladega. And the reason B is because of how tight the radius is into the corners heading into them. It's not a smooth open entry like it is at Daytona and Talladega. It's tight. Remember, this is 1.5 miles, so you really have to nail your points in qualifying, or else you're going to be starting way towards the back here tonight.
Clinton Sneed, the man behind Sim Racer Hub, and that Challenge Winter Series. Getting ready to work his way across the start-finish line. See how he sends her off down into turn number 1 and 2. By the way, more banking added in to the repavement of the new racetrack in Atlanta. Some parts of the racetrack was repaved. Some parts was taken away, believe it or not. And that transition from turn 4, there's a lot less entrance, if you will, entering the dog leg. Sweeping, if you will, coming off of that 4th turn. Down way to the bottom of the apron, man. What a lap for Clinton Sneed. He's got to pick it up, though, man. He's way in the back of the top 10. And by the way, tonight's event is also round number 6 of the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series. I wanted to put that out there. Obviously, we'll rock all the way into February before we crown a champion with this series. And here comes Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller, I believe, was the most recent winner on the series a couple of weeks ago before the New Year's break, Christmas break. He won that Tuesday night. And there you see the double mint gum Toyota number 18 machine carrying all the momentum, if you will. After starting in the back in an invert in race number 2, he was able to, Jason, stay up in the front and go on and win that race, obviously. And right now we see Miller working around the track. He's going to qualify second, continuing to carry the momentum as he spins below the bottom of the banking. But man, second fast in qualifying.
Yeah, and the thing is too, Wesley, when you come to qualify here at Atlanta, you can really have that truck step out on you quite a few times if you're not really careful with your entry points or even getting down to the bottom in the corners. You can really jump off that apron, hit that red and white double line, and your car will really unsettle. It'll jump up the banking. Obviously, these trucks, like we've talked about in many of our broadcasts, both you and I, these trucks are very aerodynamically dependent on the aerodynamics, obviously. So, you know, they're a little more stable compared to the Cup and the Xfinity Series car. But no doubt, you hit that white and yellow line here tonight, you can really unsettle your truck, and you can really take yourself and everybody else behind you for a ride.
Michael Sturgill Jr., top of the board now, 32.398. And here comes Clifford for the first time of 2024. Toby Ritter's ready to go in that big red machine, number 23. Click at RV Bomb Speed, entry part of Win Racing. Obviously, the Northwest Racing Series will be ready to fire back up between February and March on LSRTV, the official flagship network for them. Toby Ritter's trying to cap off this Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series Tuesday night gala, Jason, with some type of a win before it wraps up on the year.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting to see Toby Ritter's come so far, obviously. Right now, not so good on the qualifying charts. To see where he ends up right here. Looks like he's still going to be 12th, so really not the best qualifying effort for Clifford, but he is a good super speedway racer. We've seen him go up towards the front in a lot of these super speedway races, whether it be the Northwest or even other series that we've seen him race in. I think Clifford is definitely a good driver to go out here and win tonight, but really this is anybody's game because with 13 trucks we got here tonight, it's anybody's game for sure.
Take a look at the Kaufman creative weather conditions as qualifying is just about ready to come to a halt and close. 86 degrees in the air temp, wind speed at 9 miles an hour. But Jason, this is something that blows me away right here. Look at this, buddy. Almost 40 degrees difference from the ambient air temp to the track temp at almost 130 degrees at 126. What's that going to be on tires?
Oh, that's going to be absolutely atrocious. And I tell you what, man, we always thought that tires really wore out on the old Atlanta surface, like kind of like a cheese grater, like Larry McReynolds used to say, America's crew chief. He would say that these tires just get eaten up. It's like a cheese grater, to these Goodyear Eagles. But man, with the track temperature being so high here today, you're going to see tire wear. Not nearly as much tire wear as you would see back at the old Atlanta, but it's going to make these drivers really slip and slide off the corners. And because of this being a 1.5 mile full throttle super speedway type racetrack, you're going to see these tires get away. You're going to see guys slipping and sliding, getting a little tight. You better make sure you have a good handling race truck and you're a good enough driver to hang on to that thing if it snaps.
Well, let's go racing, ladies and gentlemen, to ring in the new year for the Tuesday Night Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge Winter Series. And on the pole, Gabriel Ellison will be the man that'll bring him to the green flag to the outside. Michael Sturgill in the number 90. Row number 2, we'll find Andrew Miller, the number 18. Max Deck to the outside of the 5. Row 2. Row 3, Michael Garone Jr., the number 29 to his outside. Joseph Plager in that 97. Row 4, Brian Bloom to find himself to the inside, outside 82 of Stan Carnathan. Top 10, Michael Wolford in the number 7 machine, the man behind the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winner Series, and Sim Racer Hub 07, Clinton Sneed. He'll fire off 10. Couple of rows more. Row 6, Bradley Rivers in the 15. Kobe Ritters in the 23. And shotgun on the field, Clinton Castleberry in that number 21. 40 laps around Atlanta, and the field is rolling off of pit road. Go time, Jason, and strap in. I think we're going to see a shootout. You know, normally it's like what they always talk about, the duels at Daytona. The first race might be calm, the second race might be wilder. If that's not the opposite of the latter, the first race could be crazy, the second race could be calm. Or we could just see craziness at both ends of the spectrum. We'll see what goes on here in a moment.
Yeah, we're going to find out for sure. Obviously, this track is really, really demanding on these drivers. And I tell you what, Wesley, ever since this track got reconfigured and I tried my jab at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway here, I tell you what, man, you really have to work at the wheel inside your sim racing cockpit, because it's going to be really hard and demanding for these drivers. Keep your eyes out. Make sure you are ready to get on the binders if necessary, because this is going to be a very difficult race with this type of super speedway style racing we're so used to seeing.
No fast repair. Remember, 40 laps in the twin 40s. No attempts at overtime or green-white checker. And we will re-run and reset with an invert at the end of race number 1. Hope you had a great Christmas and a new year. Start to 2024. We're ready to be back on your home for sim racing. Tuesday night, round 6, Sim Racer Hub Challenge Trucks, and the Hangover Nationals are underway. Storming across the line, funneling back into turn number 1, they thunder. Gabriel Ellison in the lead. Miller, Sturgill right there alongside. They're 2x2 behind the leader, and Ellison quickly, Jason, to the top spot on the back stretch here with 39 to go.
Yeah, he's got Michael Sturgill right on the back bumper. We'll see if they try to come down right in front of Andrew Miller off turn number 4. It looks like they will stay up at the top of that racetrack, the top usually being so dominant on these super speedway style tracks that are usually a little bit more tight, like Daytona, and now you can incorporate that into the new Atlanta. You see Max Steck, he's trying to get side by side right behind Andrew Miller up in that number 5 machine, but almost a completely exact copy of what it looked like just a lap ago as they head back to 3.
Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play, and they're doing that tonight here for the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winner Series. And look at them locked tight, 2x2 like Noah leading the virtual animals to the arc, down into the corner. It's Ellison up on the outside. He's got room with Sturgill, and look at the man that's trying to continue from winning last race before the start of the new year. Andrew Miller to the bottom, Jason, looking for the lead in turn 3.
Yeah, that Kyle Busch-inspired double mint Toyota Tundra is looking really strong right now. You see the 29 Michael Garone in that Kevin Harvick-style GM Goodwrench throwback. Got a little loose off turn number 4. Could have hooked the 18. Thankfully wasn't there enough close to the back bumper to make any sort of incident happen between those two. But Andrew Miller starting to pull out further ahead by just a little bit. 29 still trying to give him the shove, but Ellison and Sturgill, they give one big push to each other back down into 3, and it's Gabriel Ellison back up at the front side by side off 4.
Back through the line, here they come to the triangle, and they're working out with 5 laps in, 5 in, 35 to go. And all the while, Gabriel Ellison, that top spot. Sturgill up on the outside, Miller protects the bottom. He's got also Garone Jr. in tow. And like we figured, Jason, as they dive into 3, they're all right there nestled like it's a draft. at Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, and it's so hard to really make a pass here, Wesley, compared to Daytona and Talladega, where you typically have those 3 to 4 lanes to really pass. But here in Atlanta, because of it being a mile and a half, and we're going to talk about this all night long for these two twin 40-lap events here tonight at Atlanta, is that this track is so much tighter, remember, and also with the reconfiguration, the back straightaway a little bit wider for the racing surface. Same goes for the front straightaway, but you can just see from our coverage here that it is really tight out there. It looks like you could barely make a third lane. You can make it work, but my, oh boy, it is going to get really tight, and you might cause an incident if you do try to put it 3 wide.
By the way, speaking of Daytona, 46 days away to the 66th running of the Great American Race, the 500, and less than 33 days away to the 3rd annual Clash at the Coliseum, the Busch Light Clash at the LA Coliseum. So NASCAR ready to roar back into swing. And of course, until then, we got you home for iRacing here as well. 32 to go. With now 8 completed, it's Ellison in race 1 leading the way. Sturgill up on the outside. Miller will follow. Garone and Steck now battle door to door. Here comes also Bloom and Carnathan right there, 2 by 2 by 2 as they work to 3.
Yeah, back into turn number 3. Now Michael Sturgill, he's battling side by side, trying to defend his second spot from Andrew Miller, but Miller works his way back to the bottom underneath that red and white line. But back on the top side, Sturgill's going to give yet another good push back to the number 27 through turn number 1, and the 29 nearly sliding up just a little bit. He's got Ryan Bloom right on his back bumper, but the 2 up on the top side starting to pull away just a bit from Steck into 3.
Backstretch into that 3rd turn now. Ellison now stays up on the outside. Miller back on the bottom. Miller's got himself a new reprieve and a big momentum boost after taking that win a couple of weeks ago before the break. Crossing the line, he's the man up in front. The Pied Piper, if you will, is Ellison up on the outside. Miller, Sturgill, Garone, and they are still going to stay 2 by 2 by 2. No one's breaking out of line. 10 in, 30 to go down the backstretch in Atlanta.
Yeah, still really just kind of replicating lap after lap. You see this top side really starting to pull away down the straightaways, but through the corners, look at how dominant that inside lane is. They just come right back up side by side with these guys. If they're going to get in front of Ellison and Michael Sturgill Jr., they're going to have to really give each other a good enough push, obviously, to get in front of that 27 and 90, because Ellison and Sturgill, they have worked really good. They've raced really good against one another all season long here this winter time. And I tell you what, man, it is going to be hard to beat those 2 here tonight for sure.
Sim Racer Hub welcomes you to round 6 at Atlanta. It's the Hangover Nationals. Right across the starting line as they work across with now 12 completed. Back to turn 1 up on the outside. It's Ellison now. Ellison up top. Miller will follow on the bottom. You've got Sturgill there ready to go and make something work on top. A little bit more momentum on the outside up against the safer barrier for Ellison. Remember, we mentioned when we came on the air, you got him on the top side, but now he drops to the bottom, throws the block on Miller, throws the block on Sturgill. You can't block them both at one time. He'll try, though, as they come to the line. Here comes Miller to the bottom.
Yeah, I noticed right there, too, Max Steck got really loose up on the top side going through 3, and you can just see how much these guys are trying to handle these trucks here tonight with the temperatures, the mile-and-a-half configuration on a super speedway style track where you're going full throttle. It's really difficult to get a hold of yourself and really make sure that you can keep the truck underneath you. Here goes Ellison, going to throw another block on the 18. Couldn't complete it. Now Miller puts his nose right by the left rear quarter panel, and the 29 pulled out of line for just a second. Gets back in behind Andrew Miller as they head back to 1 and 2. Oh, nearly made contact. Whoa. The 29 and the 5. And Wesley, like I had just mentioned, you're starting to see some handling go away.
Garone Jr. and Steck almost make contact with one another. Ellison now losing ground on the outside because here comes Miller throwing it all he's got down to the bottom. He's going to carry Garone Jr. and that Goodrich number 29 with him. To the bottom is also Bloom is there. New names up into the top 5, closing in on 25 to go, 15 in. By the way, this race broadcasted in 4K Ultra HD. That's 1440 P60 HD quality on your YouTube channel. And click and subscribe to LSRTV. Ellison, the leader. It's now Sturgill and Miller to follow, and they're going to go at it again in 3.
Man, Wesley, I'm really starting to see these trucks get all out of shape now because you just saw Max Deck get loose. You saw the 18 of Andrew Miller trying to get to the bottom, had no pushing, no nothing behind him. And that truck looked really unstable on the bottom there. And I'm noticing that really it's these drivers on the bottom. It's really starting to go away. You just saw him hit the apron right there for a split second. Got all out of control. The 29, the 22 of Bloom, they all got loose as well. I think this is when you're going to start to see this outside start to play a factor. In the 27 and the 90, they jumped down in front of Andrew Miller, but Miller's going to poke his nose out, try to get back to the bottom of Sturgill, back to the line now, 23 to go.
So it's Ellison now under attack one more time by Sturgill. Now Miller's going to pull down to the bottom. And then number 18, here comes now Steck. That's Max Steck on the outside lane of the beautiful number 5 machine, trying to make something work on his Chevrolet. By the way, top 5 right now, 3 Chevrolets and 2 Toyotas. Now flip-flop that, 3 Toyotas and 2 Chevrolets, as just getting to pass his Garone Jr. on Plager to make it back into the top 5. Closing in on halfway in the Hangover Nationals. Race 1 of the Twin 40s of Atlanta, and Gabriel leads them back to 1.
Yeah, back to turn number 1. Oh, and Max Steck, or not Max Steck rather, but the 18 of Miller again hit the apron, got a little loose. If I were the 29, there you go, try to get to the bottom of him, but the 18 throws the block, and only 4 trucks right on that inside line. Ellison and Sturgill jump back. Oh, hard crash! Up into the wall.
We got trouble. It happened out of turn 4. Jason, you just saw it. Last race winner, Miller, and others in the wall. It was bound to happen. Super Speedway style out of turn 4.
Man, what a hard hit there for the number 18. I saw it coming, Wesley. I really did. And I don't know if the 5 got loose or if the 18 hit the apron again. We're going to take a look at it here on the LSRTV replay. But you see down the back, the 29 tries to get to the bottom, and he puts this 18 in a really uncomfortable position, gives him that really shallow entry, has to back it up. But, oh no, the 5 of Max Steck just completely loses it. Gets sideways in the corner, collects Brad Rivers, obviously himself, and along with that, the 18. And then you see Andrew Miller, I believe. Or not Andrew Miller, rather, but I believe that's Clinton Sneed, kind of just trailing behind, backing it down. That was a hard impact for the 18 of Miller.
On board with Andrew Miller. And again, looking on the replay, the 5 did get the right rear. And it was a lot of side drafting. We talk about Atlanta mimicking with this new repavement. Daytona Talladega Racing, and this is a perfect description of it here at the Hangover Nationals. Let's take a listen to what happened to Miller here. Oh, what a hit. And remember, Jason Rockefeller, no fast repairs. Those trucks are either going to go to the damage clock or they're going to be done. They're going to be out. This race is over for them in race 1.
Yeah, and I mean, at least the benefit of it is that Andrew Miller is going to have another reset basically right here for race number 2 tonight, where he's going to be able to start on the pole, obviously. I mean, and that thing is killed. It is done because you heard the engine go, that little explosion sound you heard. That, folks, means that engine is completely blown out. It is done. So Andrew Miller is for sure done for the night. There's no way that team's going to be able to repair that truck. I would like to say maybe even Brad Rivers, depending on what kind of damage he has. He very well could be out of this race, possibly too. Max Steck had a hard collision, but the benefit for those guys is that they're going to be able to start in the front if they were to finish where they are right now.
Under caution early at Atlanta. We'll step away. We'll be right back from the Hangover Nationals on LSR TV.
Looking to the inside of Turner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway, nearly does.
Last night the track was very slick. You know, we had 2 good grooves.
But anyway, just another some of that.
There's people in the stands. That means there's people watching.
Lights off on the pace truck back in Atlanta, and we'll get ready to go back for a restart here. New names up in the front now, including just after halfway, Ryan Bloom and Toby Ritters. And Jason, how about that? A couple of our Northwest brethren right there, ready to bring us back to green here in the second half of race 1.
Yeah, I'm ready to see here what Toby and Ryan are able to do. These guys work very well with each other. We're about to see how well they work with one another against guys that they're still getting used to with. 18 laps to go. We're about to find out.
Through the Geico restart zone, and the green flag flies. They do got drivers out. 3 behind the wall of Rivers, Steck, and Miller. Sneed in the back as well. Back underway. Still a long way to go, by the way, in this one. Down that back straightaway, it's Ryan Bloom now. Down that back stretch, stays to the bottom. Here comes the outside lane, and it's Sturgill up top. He's got some help with Ellison and company as they work to 3.
Yeah, back to turn number 3, and it looks like that number 90 of Michael Sturgill Jr. and Gabriel Ellison, they really know what they're doing, obviously. Going all the way back up towards the front, and man, Toby Ritters nearly just clipped Ryan Bloom right in that left rear quarter panel going through the tri-oval. Thankfully, they kept it all clean. Or actually, that was not Toby Ritters' apologies. That was the 82 of Stan Carnathan. And now you see Ritters back there, 4th in line up on the top side. And oh, Sturgill and Bloom nearly make contact going into turn number 3.
Man, oh man, what a save they made. Back to the inside, 15 to go. Look at Bloom on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Sturgill up top. Carnathan has now powered his way to the 3rd position, along with Ellison, and finishing, going right back where they left off before they crashed. 2 by 2 by 2 again here. And anybody can win this thing as they're going to come to 15 to go.
15 laps to go, and things are going to get really intense because I tell you what, it only takes 30 seconds to get around here in 15 laps. So this is going to be a very, very quick 15-lap shootout to the finish. And these guys are really slicing and dicing up here. I would not be surprised. And it's just so difficult to really be on this edge of control. Look at Ryan Bloom. Slides up, nearly gave up the bottom to Stan Carnathan. And this is the kind of racing we're going to see. Guys like Ryan Bloom, Michael Sturgill, they have to perform under pressure, deal with these trucks handling the way they are, and make sure they're ready to take these pushes back behind them as well.
Back straight away, Sturgill up high. Bloom on the bottom, trying to give him plenty of room. So is Carnathan on the bump draft. There you see Ellison right there helping out the 90. They'll work their way back into the corner. This time by, boy, a little, just a bob into the wall almost there by Ellison's truck 27. He saved it, and in doing so, it allowed Garone and I believe the 97 of Plager to just swallow up the 27, and now they're all bunched up tighter down the back stretch of the outside lane going to 3.
Yeah, Carnathan's going to give a really good push here to the 22 machine. Oh, and he gives him a little bit of too much of a push, stacked up the bottom side just a little bit through turn number 3, but back down to the line now, 12 laps to go. This outside is looking pretty good with Ellison and Sturgill. They might try to jump down here, Wesley, if given this opportunity, because I can just tell this 22 of Bloom is getting these pushes from Carnathan through the corners and going in, and he is probably not liking it.
And remember, they'll reset into it all over again in race number 2 next. To the line, 11 to go. Closing in on 30 complete. Remember, no overtime in this series. Everybody trying to get their chess pieces in order for race 1. Remember, the winner of race 1 is inverted. They'll invert them. The winner of the race 1 goes to the rear in race 2. You start in the back, it looks like Miller, shades of what happened a couple of weeks ago for the number 18. We'll put him on the pole. And here's the thing, Jason, as they come to 10 to go this time by, Miller really had a strong truck.
Yeah, and Miller really did have a good truck, and I mean, he's still, you know, obviously out of this race, and he's going to really come back probably stronger than ever for this second race, but obviously we still have this race to settle, and these are going to be guys that he's going to be going up against for sure. Michael Sturgill, Gabriel Ellison, I am sure that they are going to be right back in the mix next race, but obviously we're going to have to find out where they're going to finish here this time by. 9 laps to go. It's still a dead even fight between Sturgill and Bloom. Back to the line. 9 to go as they hit into turn 1.
Single digits on the scoring pylon now. Charles Wooten giving you these awesome video sim images in real time down that back straightaway to turn number 3 now. Sturgill wants to be the man of the P1 spot. Here comes Ryan Bloom, a shot from Carnathan, drops to the apron. Bloom got a turn, and the guy goes the 7 of Wolford. Into the wall goes another driver. I believe that's Castleberry. Caution is out. 8 laps to go. Trouble in turn 4. Wow. Bound to happen. You knew it was going to. Here's a look at it again. A little too zealous, if you will, aggressive. And there's the end result, Jason, of what happened off the back stretch, where they were trying to set him up into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and really, it was just a bad bump gone wrong. Stan Carnathan, and I mean, you know, and I don't like calling out drivers, but, you know, I mean, obviously, Wesley, we're broadcasters. We just call it as we see it. And the way I see it right there, if you're Stan Carnathan, you just cannot be pushing a guy in the middle of the corner. That is one of those super speedway, you know, unwritten rules. You do not push in the corner. And unfortunately for Stan Carnathan, he just gave the 22 one too many shots and eventually hit him in a sweet spot to where that 22 got sideways, stacked up the field. And the 7 of Michael Wolford was just a victim of just really a big stack up right in the back there in the 3.
Remember, they do not finish in overtime in this series. So they're going to try every effort possible, Jason, to get this race restarted.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is I'm sure they could probably definitely get it started. I mean, if they have everybody bunched up here together within this next lap or two, obviously they could definitely get back going. And again, you know, they have to finish under the green flag. So we're going to have to see if these guys can make it all the way back. This very well is going to be the last restart of the night for race number 1. We will not see another attempt at anything, you know, green, white, checkered, none of that. So what you got is what you got. You're going to have to find your dance partner. You're going to have to try to make something work, or else you're not going to get this one here tonight for sure.
So the caution out here in the Hangover Nationals at Atlanta. Obviously, Michael Sturgill Jr., the man that's up in front now. Gabriel Ellison in second, Michael Garone Jr. third. There's at least 9 drivers left on the racetrack, others behind the wall. Clinton Castleberry on the pit exit. Looks like he'll come back out off on the track. And we still got Brad Rivers, Max Steck, and Andrew Miller way behind the wall. Remember, there's the invert and the reset. And even though those drivers, Jason, are behind the wall, they will be able to run in race 2, and obviously the invert puts them on the front row. By the way, lights off on the safety truck, my friend. You were exactly right. They're going to be coming to a restart with 5 to go here in race 1, Atlanta.
Yeah, and if I had to say, Wesley, if they were to have a caution here with 5 laps to go initially, I don't see them being able to come back and obviously make it. So this is probably definitely 100% in my book going to be the last restart of race number 1 here tonight. And you got to think to yourself, too, this is going to be interesting because look at who's going to be lining up 1 and 2. They're not going to be together. Sturgill and Ellison have been working all over. They've been working together all night long. And I mean, it's just been so difficult to keep those two apart. Now, if you're Joseph Plager, if you're Michael Garone Jr., you got to keep those two separated, because I could only assume that they would try to work together here on this restart.
Oh, and by the way, you got 3 teammates right there with, of course, Ellison, Plager, and Sneed. They're going to try to shake together here. Shades of a drafting at a super speedway, because a lot of people prefer the New Atlanta, like Daytona, Talladega. It's an open hand from your flagman. Boy, something happened to Ellison. He did not fire. He didn't fire. Something happened to Gabriel Ellison, and it opens the door for Joseph Plager on the outside. Sturgill gets a great jump on the whole shot, and they're back into 1.
Yeah, coming back to 4 laps to go. 4.5 this time. The 90 and the 27 are hooked back up together. If you're any of these other guys, you've got to try to go against them. They've been working so well together all night long. Like I mentioned earlier, coming around to 4 to go. Garone is going to be right in the catbird seat behind them. You see the 2 Sim Racer Hub trucks. They're up at the top. That being Joseph Plager, Clinton Sneed. 4 laps to go. Here comes Carnathan down to the bottom. The 29 throws a big block on Plager. Back into turn number 1. 4 laps to go. And here comes Carnathan for the race lead on the bottom.
Less than 6 miles remain down that back straightaway. Here are the Hangover Nationals at Twin Race 1. Carnathan, hungry, looking for a win in the Rapid Red 82. Sturgill up the outside. Here comes now Wolford, who just spun a moment ago. He's in the battle with the field, and 3 to go at the line.
3 to go this time by, and Michael Sturgill is just trying to hold everybody all at bay, and Gabriel Ellison, rather, he's been pushing them all race long, but he is not going to be pushing them probably coming off turn 4 for the final time. But look at this. The inside lane, it faded away. Here comes the 29, the 27. They're all up in the mix, and now they get single file for those first 4 rows until you get back to row 5. That's when things get dicey. 2 laps to go at the line. Ellison still all over the back bumper, and Sturgill back into 1.
Sturgill's top spot up the outside. He'll stay in the middle lane. Here comes now a move by Flagger. Got a bunt there by Carnathan. Bloom and Ritter's trying to file in and get into order. Here they come off the corner, 3 wide behind the top 2 leaders, single file. Sturgill and Ellison. Here comes now Flagger to the inside. Looking to the inside on Ellison. White flag, Jason, 1 to go in race 1 in Atlanta.
And Ellison pulled a great move. He's going to put the 90 in the sucker hole. He jumped out with his teammate. They executed it perfectly. And now the 2 Sim Racer Hub trucks are 1 and 2. But look out for Michael Garone. He's got help from Stan Carnathan up on the top side. Final time in the 3 for race 1 of the night.
And behind them, they are 3 by 3 by 3. The monkeys in the middle are Sturgill, and now Ritters, and Flagger spins below the apron. Another one shut the gap. They tried to go 4 wide. Checkered flag. Michael Sturgill's going to hold on. Ritters is going to steal 3rd. Wow, what a finish. Oh, my goodness, what a race in race 1. And just like that, it's over and gone.
And now we got to do it all over again, Wesley.
What a finish, Michael Sturgill getting the win. I'll tell you what, I gave the lineup, buddy. Won't you give him the official rundown of the race, my friend?
Sounds good. Race number 1 here of the Twins tonight. Michael Sturgill holds off Gabriel Ellison, got that surge momentum bump on the top side, beats him by 0.04 of a second right there for first. 3rd goes to Toby Ritter, snuck by. Man, he was about all the way in the back coming into 3 for the final time, or at least with 2 to go. Come through to finish 3rd. Great, great moves by Toby Ritters there. Garone, Bloom, your top 5. Then Wolford comes back to finish 6th after a spin earlier. Stan Carnathan, Clinton Sneed, Joseph Plager there. Spun out, I believe, coming on the last lap. Clinton Castleberry there in 10th. And then obviously the rest of the field, Brad Rivers, Max Steck, and Andrew Miller. Those drivers wrecked in that first big one earlier on in the race, so they are going to line up here up at the front of this field for race number 2.
That's exactly right. There'll be an invert here. Again, Miller, shades of what happened 2 weeks ago before the, of course, New Year's holiday break, as they were off last Tuesday night. He will be the man that will be watching all this unfold down from the P1 spot in that number 18 machine. The winners, of course, getting it done. We'll try to grab them top 3 and more. Stay with us. We're back with more from Atlanta, and don't go anywhere. Race 2 on deck in a bit after a practice session. And we're back with more from Atlanta on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Welcome back to Atlanta. Hangover Nationals for the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winners Series Round 6. We're going to grab down the podium drivers and get it thoughts with the third place man. First, Toby Ritters. Man, what a way for Clifford to bump, shake, rattle, and roll, and still won at the line, coming out of 4 to finish on the podium. Happy New Year, my friend.
Hey, Wesley. Happy New Year, buddy. Good to hear from you, buddy. Yeah, I surely I knew I had to take her 3 wide to get that finish, and I'm glad I got to push Michael to the win too.
And Toby, congratulations, man, on finishing 3rd. And that second to last lap, man, you were running all the way in the back, and I was seeing you trying to thread the needle there all by yourself. I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. You might start a wreck. But, man, you got all the way up to the front. What was your mindset going into those last 2 laps, being all the way back there and to come home and finish 3rd?
Well, I had that planned out. I'm streaming my race myself, and I even gave you guys a shout-out. I do every race. But anyway, I even told the guys on the stream, and they helped call my shots, so good old Russ and Cookie Monster and them guys. But, yeah, I told them that I was going to save them tires like Ryan did, and I had that all strategized. I had that planned out, and it worked out just fine. It was great. I'm so excited for the third place.
See different in race number 2, Toby. What are you going to do different to try to get a win, bud?
I'm gonna do the same thing, Wesley. I'm gonna read the pack. That's the main thing about these tracks. You got to read that pack to pull that win off in the end. I might be the straggler in the beginning, but in the end, I'm sure gonna try to come to the front.
Sponsors, man.
I want to thank my wife. I want to thank LSRTV. I'd like to thank Click It RV, and I'd like to thank Sim Racer Hub Winter Challenge. And
There you go. There's the thoughts of course, the man. Clifford Toby Ritter's the Big Red Machine, still in one there, getting able to finish on the podium. Start off the new year in style. Top 3 finish. Let's go now to Gabriel Ellison. Gabriel, man, you gave it all you could. One last shot. What a comeback, by the way. Did you lock up the tires, spin the tires? Did you not get in gear? What happened on that last restart, but you're able to rally back to finish in 2nd?
Yeah, I just kind of got caught sleeping. I had it in 1st, but I think I spun them a little bit. It was really easy to start in 1st on the fresh tires, but we had a few laps on them. I think I just might have goosed it a little too much. But yeah, I mean, we got in line, we got everything going, and I made a move on the coming to the white under old Sturgill, trying to see if I can make it stick. But I think my help got spun out coming out of 4, so that you can't win without someone pushing your bumper. But great push to get there. Overall, it was a fun race. Looking forward to the next one.
And Gabriel, we noticed too that you and Michael were working really, really good together, man. I mean, I know you said that you really spun the tires a little bit. You said you were in 1st on that, last restart. And Michael was still able to get down in front of you, because I was like, oh man, they got to keep them separated. These guys have been working really good all night. Do you plan on working with Michael like you did in the 1st race for the 2nd one?
Oh yeah, if we're near each other, we pretty much always do. We've ran a lot of races together, so it's pretty much unspoken. But yeah.
Gabriel, thank your sponsors, and segue. What do you think we'll see in race 2 coming up, bud?
Oh yeah, huge thanks to Aspiration Homes and SimRacerHub.com. And yeah, I think this next race will be pretty similar. I think it'll go green until we get you get to that 20 lap mark when cars start getting loose, and then we'll see a little bit of chaos.
There you go. There's the thoughts of Gabriel Ellison, runner-up in race number 1 for the Sim Racer Hub Hangover Nationals in Atlanta. Let's go to victory lane. The number 90 machine, Michael Sturgill. Michael, congrats, man. Another win checked off on the docket, and obviously you need them for points and rallying towards the championship. But man, what a great job. What a race this was. How fun was it in the cockpit, as crazy as it was for us calling it in the booth?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't really care for New Atlanta, but I love it. I always have a blast here and any type of car that I drive here.
And Michael, obviously, congratulations, man, on the win here. And man, I tell you what, we saw Gabriel pull out a line right there, coming to the line on the white flag, and you got split 3 wide. I mean, what was going through your mind when you saw Gabe pull out a line, and then next thing you know, you were getting put 3 wide in the middle heading into 1?
Yeah, I thought it was over. Gotta really give a shout out to Toby for sticking with me in that middle lane. I thought I was going to the back. I was either going to the back or getting wrecked is what I thought. I didn't know if Gabe would make the move or not. Like, we worked together the whole race, so I didn't know what he was going to do. When I saw him do that, I was like, oh, I couldn't block it. Like, I'm not gonna block it and wreck the whole field. So I just held my line, and luckily Toby got behind me and was able to push me back to the front.
Sturgill, what do you think we're going to see in race number 2? Do you think the fireworks are going to fly, and how easy or hard will it be for you to come to the front from the back?
I think we got a good group starting in the back. We should be able to work together and make our way back up to the front. I don't know if the track is cooling down or not, but I think, like Gabe said, probably pretty calm until around that halfway point, and that's when the tires start getting some wear on them. That caution that came out about halfway, when I took tires, I had like 93% on the right rear, so it definitely wears out the rear tires and makes it a little sketchy getting into the corner. So I think everything will be calm until those tires get worn.
We'll see what happens, buddy. Thank you, sponsors, and man, we'll see what goes on in race 2. I know you're practicing right now. Good luck.
Thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast, as always. All the league admins, drivers in here, Moscow Joe's. If you need a wallet, if you're hungry, go get yourself some rapid fired pizza, and everyone on Eons Motorsports. I think that's got it.
Another win for Michael Sturgill Jr. Hey, by the way, Gabriel Ellison finishing second. He's also looking for possibly his 50th career league win, the Sim Racer Hub Challenge. Could it happen in race 2? We'll find out next, and we'll be right back from Atlanta.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection. If we fix your foundation and you mention Race On Texas, you will get a 1-year free subscription to the All Access Pass.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Round 6 and 7 continues for, of course, the SimRacerHub.com Winter Challenge. Wesley Outland, Jason Rockefeller alongside. By the way, if you're actually keeping up with it, this is actually races number 11 and 12 of the season. Event 6 of the year. Race 11 and 12 for the Twin 40s and the Hangover Nationals. I'm Wesley Outland again. For the month of January, after tonight, Las Vegas, Charlotte, Iowa Auto Club, and the champion will be determined in the end of February. So for the next couple of months, we got a fun time for you here every Tuesday night with the trucks. iRacing on LSRTV. The field is gridded. Jason, I'm going to let you give the lineup this time, buddy, because I did it the last time. We're ready to go for the 40-lapper twin number 2 of the Hangover Nationals, my friend, at Atlanta.
Sounds like a plan, Mr. Outland. Here we go. Row number 1 for race number 2 of the night. Andrew Miller, Max Steck, remember, wrecked out in race number 1. They're going to find themselves back up here, starting up on the front row. Row 2 tonight. Bradley Rivers, Clinton Castleberry, also some drivers that ran into some trouble in race number 1. They'll be there, do-si-do on road number 2. Row number 3, Joseph Plager, right in the hunt there at the end, wrecked out. He's going to start in row number 3 alongside Sim Racer Hub's own Clinton Sneed on the outside in the 07 machine. Row number 4, Stan Carnathan was strong there during race number 1. Michael Wolford going to see if he can rebound from a spin in the last race. Row number 5 goes to Ryan Bloom, Michael Garone in the 29. He was strong as well. Row number 6, Toby Ritters trying to get 2 spots better than what he did in race 1. Gabriel Ellison looking for redemption, going for his 50th career league win tonight. Rounding out the field there, row number 7, all by his lonesome self, but we've seen him go from the back to the front. Michael Sturgill.
40 laps. Field is rolling off pit road. Let's take a look at the Kaufman Creative Weather Conditions and see what's changed from race number 1 in the Twin 40s down to race 2. And honestly, Jason, kind of brought the track tip down a little bit. Massive cloud cover over the racetrack right now.
Yeah, a little bit of a cloud cover here. It's cooled down almost about 10 degrees or so, but I'm sure enough that when these trucks start going around here on this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval, that it's going to heat up a little bit. These tires are going to wear out, and we're going to see the same kind of action that we saw in race number 1 earlier.
So with a thundering herd, we'll put up for these trucks. Right now, we get ready to roll here. Pacing through the field in turn number 3 and 4. Oh yeah, we'll do it again. Charles has got those static cameras ready. And you know what's going on now. Pace truck onto the pit lane. Field inverted from race 1 to now race 2. Miller on the pole. We feel the roar. The Hangover Nationals coming to green here in Atlanta, and race 2 is underway. Thundering down to the line, back into turn 1, 2 laps in, and Miller is up in front, shades of what he did 2 weeks ago. Plager on the outside, and there's Carnathan, who really made some noise, Jason, up in race number 1. And look at the high climber, winner of race 1, Sturgill in 2 laps is up to 6th as they work out a 4.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all, considering the fact that he is just so strong here tonight in that number 90 machine. And I mean, really, this is the thing too. I mean, yes, we have 13 trucks, but you still gotta really be easy and really quick and methodically, you know, think about what you're gonna do with your truck to go from the back to the front, because it is not easy to do it with a track that's really only, what, 2 truck widths wide, really? I mean, you can push it 3, but it's really hard to do. But Michael Sturgill Jr. doing a great job there, riding third lane up on the top side as Andrew Miller comes to complete that lap. He's still leading here with Stan Carnathan right over his back bumper, shades of what we saw in race number 1 between the 22 and the 82. So hopefully Carnathan doesn't give the push to Miller like he did to Bloom earlier, as Bloom jumps up to the top now down the back.
Saving it right now, down into the corner. Carnathan with a bump there on Miller. Here comes Plager with a shot on Bloom. And while that goes on, Rivers right there at 2. Steck on the outside. He wants to get another shot to be up at the front again. Look at Castleberry. All under attack with Rivers and Sturgill and company, and they climb the banking back to 1 with 5 in.
Yeah, side by side. Whoa, almost nearly making contact between Castleberry and Ryan Bloom. They almost made door handle to door handle contact off turn number 2. Castleberry, though, moves up into that 3rd spot. It looks like Bloom now slides back side by side with Sturgill. He went from top to bottom. Has help from Brad Rivers back behind him. They almost get really squirrely there through the tri-oval, but back down into turn number 1. The 21 backs up the entry a little bit, nearly creates a stack up as they head off turn number 2.
Somehow they save it and made it work here as they close back into the corner one more time. Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series Round 6 tonight from Atlanta. And still a long way to go in this one. Sturgill, bottom of the racetrack. Remember, he's the winner of that first race. As me and Jason reiterated on it, it was a pretty wild one. And right now, methodically, in less than 7 laps now when they come to the line, he's put himself in contention to get back up into the top 5. Now up to 3rd. Here comes a 90 on the bottom, looking for the lead, as Carnathan is going to lead a lap in the corner. As my, oh my, up the hill goes Miller. He's lost the packets like a draft, if you will, out of 2.
Yeah, back down this back straightaway now. This inside lane starting to get really dominant. We saw the top side really earlier on. They were the ones to be reckoned with. Now this bottom side is really organized as Carnathan comes off turn number 4 to lead a lap, this time by Michael Sturgill, though still waiting for one of his buddies to get up towards the front. Remember, Gabe told us he wanted to work with Michael, but they're nowhere near each other right now. Gabriel Ellison is all the way back in the 12th spot, about a second, nearly a quarter back. There he is, all the way in the back there. So it's going to take a little while. I mean, Michael Sturgill Jr. is working with guys he hasn't really worked with yet here tonight, so it's going to be a little bit different in rate from race 1 here into race number 2, since he's not near Gabriel Ellison.
Listen to those trucks thunder down that back straightaway. Everybody in that position with Carnathan now. Well, you know he's hungry. He's looking for a win on the series. Castleberry obviously had a hiccup there in the late rally. Wants to try to fix those mistakes, and he's right there in the top 3 podium as he battles alongside Rivers down to the line. 10 in, 30 to go now as they go back into the corner. And Carnathan now up the corner into 1 and 2. Look at Sturgill waiting patiently, Jason, ready to pounce on him like a coiled cobra here in Atlanta. Castleberry on the outside trying to get something through him, but he can't get nothing there yet to 3.
Yeah, back to turn number 3. You see this 82 of Carnathan doing a great job maintaining both lines. And whoa, look up at the top of the track. Clinton Castleberry nearly brought Ryan Bloom all the way to the top of the safer barrier, but they were able to keep it going. This bottom side was good, but now they have a little bit of a challenge coming from this outside. Finally, if this number, what is it, the number 21 machine, if Clinton Castleberry can really maintain himself, stay really stout, not really try to lose this truck, that outside lane, they could be a real threat to this bottom lane here as they come back to 3.
Milwaukee Tools number 7, that's Wolford. He is fighting to get behind Rivers and pulling up in front to throw the block on Castleberry and Bloom. Right now, they stay right there in tow, bottom of the racetrack, working off that corner. Hey, by the way, we missed it in race 1, Virginia811.com. Race summary of the event so far. Let's take a look at it. And 1 lead change so far, and that was when Carnathan got around the pole band of Miller. If there's any cautions or caution laps added, it'll be brought back on. Virginia811.com reminding you, dig with care for the new year. 26 to go when they go back into 1, 14 in, Jason. And right now, Carnathan, hungry, snarling, growling to get that first win on the series. As now, look at Ritters trying to get something started here, but he's way in the back, a lap down. Tough break for the 23.
Yeah, really heartbreaker here for Kobe. He's going to need a yellow flag, obviously. I mean, but the good thing is about it here that he really shouldn't be too stressed about is that we had a wreck in that first race. In fact, we had a couple wrecks, right. So there is the possibility of having that yellow flag. And the whole field's bunched up together. They're only separated by a little over a second and a half together from first all the way to 12th. Toby's the only one a lap down. So if caution were to come out, he is going to get that Aaron's Lucky Dog pass that, you know, you used to call it back in the day, or the free pass, what we call it now. And I mean, as long as he doesn't get involved in a wreck, he'll be okay. If I were him, trail at the back of this pack. Don't put yourself in the hornet's nest like he's doing right now. You have nothing to gain. You're already a lap down. Drop to the back. Wait for a wreck to happen. That way, you don't risk yourself being involved in a wreck and not getting that free pass.
Couldn't have said it any better. Down into turn number 3 they go with Carnathan in the lead. Still a long way to go. Everyone in tow right now, preparing to come to the halfway mark of the race in just a moment. Here they come storming down to the line to the lap in. Carnathan Sturgill, winner of race and Rivers. He's in 3rd. Not done yet, Jason, on 2.
7 machine right here, Michael Wolford. He was running on the bottom side. Now he's up here at the top. He's got help from Joseph Plager. So I think that if, you know, he can really just keep that truck steady. Oh, whoa, and around goes the 21.
Saves it. Castleberry's
God.
Saved it. Oh my goodness, wow.
And look at who was almost involved in that, Wesley. Look at who was almost involved in that. The 23. Oh, no, he's going to get turned.
Wow.
He saves
Hang
it.
on, Ritters. He saved it again. What a save for that driver. My goodness. Are you kidding me? Amazing.
Can't believe that. 2 wrecks in the span of half a lap with no yellow.
And still a lap down. If a caution was to come out as we come to halfway, Toby would get the free pass. He's just trying somehow to hold on. Man, oh man, look at this. As Stan Garnethan still leads them. They're coming to the cross flags this time by 20 down and 20 to go here in race number 2 at Atlanta for the Hangover Nationals. What a save for Ritters right there, Jason. That might be one of the saves of the year if we had to have it on the ballot for a contest.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it, obviously. I mean, that was one of the greatest saves we've seen probably all year. I mean, 2 wrecks in just a span of half a lap, and it's been so difficult, you know, for these guys to really keep control of their trucks here tonight, with obviously it being a mile and a half and how fast they are. Full throttle, the tire wear being a factor. You can just see right there Michael Wolford getting out of line, getting a little squirrely through the tri-oval, able to keep it going though, and he's doing a really good job, because remember in race 1, Wesley, he had to back it down, avoided the wreck, but caused himself to get into a spin. Now he's trying to have some redemption here tonight. He's 4th right now, trying to keep Ryan Bloom right behind him.
Second half of the race underway. And I'm very surprised that the first half was the one with the fireworks, Jason. We haven't seen that yet here in race number 2, except for what happened a moment ago between Castleberry and Ritters. But no yellow flag thrown, and everybody's been, for the most part, calm, cool, collective. Look at the Craftsman number 82 Chevrolet, Stan Carnathan, trying to be another winner on this Sim Racer Hub Challenge Series. Sturgill, winner of race number 1. He's in 2nd, Jason, back to 1.
Yeah, and Carnathan, remember, he was one of those drivers up at the front of the field in race number 1. Now he finds himself in the same position, but this time he is leading the field, and now he has less trucks to deal with. Only 8 trucks are up in this pack right now because of the 2 incidents we had between the 21 of Clinton Castleberry, the 23 of Toby Ritters. I mean, that really separated the field, broke some trucks off from this lead pack. Now they find themselves all single file. They're going to shuffle Michael Wolford out. 17, now make it 16 laps to go. Wesley, this is when it just becomes a waiting game. Are you patient, or are you a driver like Ryan Bloom who wants to try to get up towards the front here as they head back off too?
Step right up, come on in if you want to take the grand tour at A-Town. And Carnathan is looking to do that on the outside. Sturgill up top. Here comes Bloom to the bottom. Ryan Bloom, the Northwest ARCA champion of 2021. The only driver, Jason, if you remember the Northwest Click It RV playoffs this year, or correction, last year, to make it in both series for Xfinity and the trucks. And look at him dive into the inside, trying to make a run to the lead, but he's hung the back. And the outside is working quicker with 15 to go in the line.
Yeah, he's trying to go for his 3rd win of the season. 5 top 5s on the board, 7 top 10s so far for the driver of the 22 Monster Energy Silverado. And he's doing a really good job, but he's got no drafting help. But obviously the benefit for him is that if he falls to this back right here, he's still going to be 5th, 6th, maybe 7th in line. Remember, only 8 trucks are up in this lead pack right now. And the thing that's saving him is being on that bottom through the corners. He's able to take that easier arc, but without any drafting help, he's not going to have any friends to get towards the front. So we'll have to see if anybody needs to come down and help Ryan Bloom here. 13 laps to go in Atlanta.
Mentioning the drivers, by the way, Goen and Ellison. Obviously, some of these, my apologies, let's update the points here. I'm sorry, I was looking at Michael Sturgill, by the way. Points leader is what I was trying to look at. He got his 2nd win of the season tonight. He is now trying to be a multi-time winner with Nicholas Goen with 3. 2 wins this year for Rhett Pucker. 2 wins for Ryan Bloom. Looking for win 3 to tie with Goen. If the 22 gets it done, that's what I was looking for, that stat. He's on the inside. He's looking for the lead. He's up to 2. He's around Sturgill. He's going after Carnathan. 12 to go on the back straightaway at Atlanta.
I think right now Ryan Bloom's best friend is that number 7 of Michael Wolford. Along with that, he's got to try to side draft down these straightaways, maybe through the tri-oval. I know it sounds risky, but if he could do just that, I think he's going to be able to get up to Stan Carnathan here. He's already up to the 90 of Sturgill. Just one more truck, and he's going to be right there battling for the lead, and maybe some of those trucks up on the outside will come down with him and Wolford to try to push. Here comes Max Steck. He pulls out a line from the top in the 5 machine, jumps down to the bottom. Now it could be an even battle, but Max Steck tucks back in line, goes back down to the bottom, trying to figure out where he wants to go. Back into 3 here, coming to 10 to go.
So far, it's been flag to flag. Coming off of 4 here at A-Town. To the line, Bloom fighting all he can to look for that 3rd win of the year. He's got some help with Wolford. On the outside, Carnathan. He's got some help with Sturgill. Race 1 winner. And 10 to go. Carnathan slips up the banking. 3 wide. Can Sturgill get in the middle? He can do it in the turn 2. And this lets Wolford down. Tuck in line,
and I was going to
say, to the lead.
Wesley, I was just going to say, too, this 82 machine got wicked loose coming off turn number 4, slapped the wall, caused a big stack up, and now look at this. Vice versa. The top was the dominant side. Now it's the bottom. And Ryan Bloom finds himself up at the front of this field, and Michael Sturgill now leads that top lane. Carnathan lost about 6 or 7%, or not 7%, but 7 positions just from doing that here as they head back down the back straightaway. Bloom trying to figure out which lane to block. He'll go to the bottom, back to 3.
Ryan Bloom inside, Sturgill outside. Carnathan slams the safer barrier. He rides the safer barrier, makes everyone get on the binders below him. Wolford on the bottom. He had to check up. So did Sneed. Single digits now and 8 to go. Sturgill back to the lead. He's trying to sweep the races. We've only had 1 man, I believe, do that this year on the series, and that was, of course, when Goen did it at Talladega. No one else this year has done it on the program for the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Series. Can he do it at Atlanta? Sturgill leading. Bloom looking for win 3. He's on the inside with 7 to go at the line.
7 laps to go, and Carnathan trying to push. Joseph Plager back to this front of this field here. Carnathan, remember, lost those positions. Now he's trying to earn them back. Sturgill, though, climbs the banking back off turn number 2. He's going to be side by side again with Ryan Bloom down the back straightaway. Has the help from Brad Rivers, and talk about a comeback. Brad Rivers was one of those drivers that finished in the bottom 3, now finds himself for an opportunity to try and compete for a win in race number 2. 6 laps to go this time by. It's all Sturgill up at the front, but how much longer will he be there?
The points leader, Michael Sturgill, picked up his 2nd win of the season. He won earlier this year for AE Ons Racing. And now we got a caution. Yellow flag is out. Trouble on the speedway. Where? It is Miller. It is
Ellison.
It's Ellison, the man that was looking for his 50th Sim Racer Hub Challenge win. Caution out. Guess what this does also, Jason? Clifford is back on the lead lap.
But Wesley, here's the thing though, with these guys catching up to the pace truck now, they're going to have the admins probably let them restart really soon, because remember, we don't have any attempts at an overtime finish. We have no attempts at an overtime finish, so this is going to be the last restart of the night, and you had to imagine something was coming, but boy, I did not think it was going to happen in this back half of the field.
They would at least have to come back around. Pit if you're going to. There's your fake. Come back around. This is 4 to go. Next time around, 3 to go. Lights off on the pace truck. Green flag, 2-lap shootout. That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I would have to assume so. I mean, right now the lights are still on the pace truck, so you think about it, they're going to have to give these guys the 1 to go next time. If they don't, this race is over. So really, Wesley, we're still up here, both me and you in the booth. I think there's about a 50-50 chance that we even get back racing. And I mean, heads up to Michael Sturgill. He was able to make those moves, get up towards the front, and put himself in this position to where if this race is now official, he's going to just continue to be super dominant and extend that points lead over Nick Gowen.
I have no doubt, Jason, that I don't think they'll get that they're not going to be able to get this race going. I think they're going to get back started again. Toby Ritter's just flied by the pace truck. You saw that, and the reason why is he is the free pass. He was the only truck a lap down, and after so many times being part of wrecking with these other guys and saving it, he now was nowhere near the calamity that just happened between Gabriel Ellison and Andrew Miller, and he now puts himself back in, I believe, the 10th position. Miller's on pit road, Castleberry and Ellison, and Jason, I believe they're going to get one to go at the line here. It'll be a two-lap shootout. It'll be green-white checker, but it's going to be the original two-lap shootout here at Atlanta when we go back to the start.
Yeah, we're about to find out right here as they slowly creep up towards the start-finish line. By the looks of it, just from the way that they're looking like they're getting. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to get back racing with 2 laps to go. And Wesley, just like that first race, you're not going to have a lot of time. In fact, you're going to have less time than what you did in race number 1. Remember, race 1, we went green with around 4, 5, maybe even 6 laps to go. You're going to have 2 laps, man. It's going to be difficult with how tight this track is. You better be on the binders. You better be ready to go here.
Jason Rockefeller, I am Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten will bring you back in, boss man. What a way to kick off the year with a wild one here in Atlanta.
Yes, I agree.
He's a man of many words.
They don't call him the best producer, color man in the business for nothing, folks. By the way, Charles,
I knew it. I knew he was working.
Charles, can you at least give us this information? We are going to be live on LSRTV Friday night at 10:30 Eastern. Am I correct? And we're doing another big money race with the Ford Entertainment Group, you and myself, right?
Yes, that's correct.
There you go. Yes, that's correct.
300 to win, 300 for second, 300 for third. I believe
so. It's going to be up to a $900 first. Top 3 get $300 to win. I love that. We'll have it for you Friday night. Basketball and then racing. And then the New Year's bash at Dillon for MAV TV. But I don't know if that's going to happen because weather looks to be shuffling up everything's plans, just like we saw in the restart here in Atlanta. And Sturgill powers to the lead. Green flag, green white checker. Jason, they're off into 1 and 2.
Back to 1 and 2, and it looks like Ryan Bloom, he's going to give a good push to Brad Rivers. I tell you what, if you're Rivers, you got to try to get around the 90. You know how strong he is. Try to find a way around him. He's going to get right to the bumper. Here comes Ryan Bloom, puts him 3 wide on the bottom. Will he get it done? Oh, they're going to into turn 3. They save it. No, they don't.
They're wrecking. Rivers is wrecked. So is Steck. So is other guys like Sneed. And for the first time this year in the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series, we will finish in the yellow flag. And they're showing Ryan Bloom as the race leader. Now they're showing Sturgill as the leader here. They're on the last lap. Remember, they do not finish under green flag conditions in overtime. The race will finish on the scheduled distance. Michael Sturgill is going to be doing something that we haven't seen since week 2 when we saw Nicholas Gowen dominate his teammate at Talladega and sweep the races. And boy, oh boy, Jason, here comes Michael Sturgill. He's going to come to the line under caution, and he will win and sweep virtual Atlanta at the Hangover Nationals. Man,
what a job. What a job. Started dead last in race number 2. We knew that he had the truck, the mentality to come through, and he is one of the very few drivers to be able to go back-to-back on a twin night here. I mean, this season. I mean, Michael Sturgill has been so fast all year long. Coming into tonight, he had get this, he had 10 starts prior to this race 11 and 12, 10 top 5s, 10 top 10s. So you think about it, Wesley, every single one that he has finished, he has racked up 10 top 5s in all 10 starts. And guess what? He's going to continue that stat. It's now going to be 12 and 12, and he's going to add 2 wins onto his 1 win that he already had this season. So Michael Sturgill, Wesley, with only a handful of weeks left in this series, all the way till February, it's looking like he's going to be the favorite, I'd say, probably at this point in the season.
Yeah, I'll use your word, the Pied Piper of the Sim Racer Hub Challenge Winter Series, no doubt, is Michael Sturgill. He now gets his 3rd win, tying now with his teammate Nicholas Gowen, who has 3 wins. 2 wins for Red Tucker, 2 wins for Ryan Bloom. He was looking for win number 3. And obviously he is the points leader, is, of course, the driver, Michael Sturgill. Let the celebration begin. This race is over. Let's take a look at the results for, again, Race 2 in the Hangover Nationals at Atlanta. Michael Sturgill getting it done. Ryan Bloom will finish in 2nd. Clinton Sneed, what a comeback for him for the Sim Racer Hub president. He'll finish at 3rd. Wolford Garone, top 5. Then you got Ellison, who's going to have to wait for another week next week at Vegas to look for that 50th career win of the Sim Racer Hub Series. Stan Carnathan, 7th. Max Steck, 8th. Joseph Flager, 9th. Andrew Miller, the top 10. And then you got Bradley Rivers and Toby Ritters had a chance to fight to get back in the race, got crashed out. Clinton Castleberry, 4 laps down in the 13th spot. Real quickly, the Virginia 811 race summary, race 2. So we had a total of 5 cautions in total tonight. 4 caution laps in race 2 and 3 lead changes. By the way, I'm counting the 3 cautions from race number 1. Coming up, Jason and I will grab the winner. You hear him right now, Sturgill burning it down. Literally, in a Polish victory lap. Going down into turn number 4 at Atlanta. I don't think the tires are going to be left by the time we talk to him, Jason.
Yeah, I definitely don't think so. Those tires are probably shot out, man. When Michael Sturgill burns it down, he really burns it down, man. But I tell you what, he really did earn it tonight for sure.
Don't go anywhere. Post-race wrap-up coming up with the top 3 on your home for sim racing, iRacing on LSRTV, the Sim Racer Hub winner to Challenge Winter Series. And again, Michael Sturgill. Here he comes. He's your winner. We'll chat with him next. Welcome back to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV, the Hangover Nationals in Atlanta. What a wild one it was. A good race. Both races, I think, highly entertaining. We'll give our final thoughts before we wrap up and prepare for Vegas round 7 next week for rounds 13 and 14 of the season. Let's grab 3rd place. Man, Clinton Sneed, what a way to come back and redeem yourself after some bad luck, obviously, from race 1. Typical Atlanta, pretty wild race. Your take of it and finishing on the podium here.
Yeah, a little bit of a redemption from race 1, but yeah, overall, pretty clean racing. There was that, I don't know who got loose there early, lap 20, 25, something like that, and that kind of broke the field up, and I was able to stick with the lead group there, and felt pretty good about it. Headed down to those last few laps, and then we got that late caution, and I think I was, the first or the second car or truck on tires, and felt reasonably well coming to the end there, and then ran out of time with that caution. But overall, a good night for the team, and we'll try again next week.
And Clinton, good job, man, on finishing P3 here tonight. Obviously, we heard from Michael Sturgill earlier. He talked to us when we went off the air, or Mike's cut rather, and he was like, "Oh, I love this place. A lot of people don't, but I love it, man." What is your take on the new Atlanta now? We're almost 2 years into this, obviously, being on iRacing, man. Just want to get your thoughts. What do you think of the newly revamped Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this was the first time I had really ran it. I may have practiced here a couple of times, but that was about it. So it was a new experience for me. It's night and day different between the new Atlanta and the old traditional Atlanta. So it's hard to really compare the two. But overall, it seemed to provide for some pretty good racing, and I think that good races can happen, and you just got to be a little more mindful compared to Daytona or Talladega or one of those other super speedways, just because how narrow the track is, and you do use tires up a lot more than those other tracks.
In segue to this, to thanking your sponsors, Clinton, I believe tonight's race definitely proved quality versus quantity. The numbers were not there. They've been kind of down because of the holiday season. I get that. People got things going on, and, hopefully they'll pick up before, the next weeks or so leading into the, the finish of the season. But, the drivers that we had tonight, hungry competitors, regulars, one's looking for points lead, looking for championships, looking to make history, obviously. Ellison looking for win 50 on the series that we kind of hinted on, and obviously, again, not big numbers as far as the truck count, but the race was very entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a fantastic group of guys here, and some really good racers. Michael and Gabe and Ryan. All of these guys are super guys and super racers, and I think that's why generally we have really clean races. And I mean, I saw in the truck, and I'm sure you guys saw in the broadcast, there were some amazing safes just there in this race, and probably in the last one too. So, yeah, this Sim Racer Hub Challenge series drivers are just really incredible, and it's amazing what they can do with old worn out tires and everything. So, yeah, thanks to Sim Racer Hub for covering the truck and the series, and Aspiration Homes, and you guys at LSRTV and Admin Box, and all of our supporters and our members. And yeah, couldn't be happier. Congrats to Michael on the win, and Ryan on P2 there, and congrats to Michael on the double, and thank you guys up there in the booth.
On to Vegas, Clinton Sneed right there. Of course, finished in third in race number 2 here at the Hangover Nationals in Atlanta. Let's go to the number 2 spot. Oh, my goodness, Ryan Bloom, you gave him every shot you had, looking for win number 3 as well yourself. Your take of race number 1 compared to race 2, and putting yourself in the catbird seat to try to go for the win, bud.
Thanks a lot, Wesley. Yeah, the first race, we got that little caution at lap 20. I tried to just gamble, just kind of see how it goes with not taking tires, and setup was a little loose. So with late in that run, I did the rear end did step out on me a little bit, and I kind of lost it, getting loose out of turn 4, I think it was, and yeah. But then we had another caution. I took some tires and tried to make my way up there, but just kind of ran out of time. But yeah, overall, it was a lot of fun. Second race was, I think kind of cleaner. I think, there's that last caution. I was hoping that one more lap. Let me see what I could have done in second there, coming to the checker, but wasn't meant to be. And congrats to Michael on the double. So overall, it was a lot of fun. It's these types of style races not my favorite. I would have taken the old Atlanta over this one for sure, but still, all in all, good night. 2 top 5s and a 5th and a 2nd, so can't be too disappointed.
And Ryan, obviously, you've been doing so strong here in this series, man. You've been so strong, really, all year so far. I mean, well, actually, you can't really say all year now because we're only 2 days into 2024. But man, you've already racked up 2 wins so far this season. And you've been so strong. What more do you feel like it's going to need to take to get up to the standards of Sturgill, Ellison, Rivers, all these guys who have just been week in and week out so consistent?
Good question. I don't know. Just these types of tracks are, I don't know. There are a lot of luck involved and a lot less in your hands. I feel like compared to a short track or mile and a half. So I think we have a bunch of those coming up. So I just kind of grind it out and just give my best and try to be up front and contend for wins and see how it goes. It's gonna be tough with low car count to kind of make up a lot of points, but I'm gonna give my best and see what happens.
Ryan, you the man. Thank you, sponsors, buddy. We'll see you next week in Vegas.
All right, thanks, Wesley. Yeah, I want to thank Click It RV and Clinton and Sim Racer Hub for putting this on. Real fun series, and you guys for putting on the broadcast. Once again, always good to watch back, and so appreciate it. See you next week.
There's the thoughts of Ryan Bloom finishing to that number 2 position here tonight. Michael Sturgill joins Nick Gowen, his teammate, for A&On's Racing for not only getting his 3rd win, but back-to-back after what he did in Talladega in race 2 of the year. He does it tonight here at Atlanta. Michael, how easy? I mean, Jason and I called it. Within 4 laps, man, you were right up in the top 3. Just a really good, strong truck, and obviously surviving that late race caution and everything coming at you. Bloom and others to pick up the win and sweep Atlanta at the Hangover Nationals. Congrats on the 90.
Yeah, thank you guys. Just in the beginning, kind of try to pick and choose which lane I was in, try to hop in whichever one seemed to be moving, and I chose correctly. And then got up front there behind Stan, and I was actually content with just kind of, pushing him, keeping him out front. And he had a little issue, and I got under him, and I was a little worried. And then we were able to, with help of Brad, get back up towards the front. And then when that caution came out there at the end, I didn't know if we were even going to go back green or not, so stayed out on the old tires. And basically had a green-white checkered there at the end, and I guess you could say I got lucky with the caution. I don't know. Ryan did have a run on me coming to the line there, so it would have been interesting to see how it played out had it stayed green.
Michael, congratulations, man. And we were talking about your stats right there towards the end of the race, obviously, once you finished, and man, you are just on fire, man. All 12 starts, all 12 top 5s. It's just crazy, the consistency that you have had this year, man. Do you think you're the favorite right now at this point in the season, or you want to give it a little bit more time?
I probably, based on the stats, I'm probably the favorite, but there are definitely a few guys in here that are really fast and consistent as well. So I'd say we'll see how the next few races play out, and then we'll be able to say a little more accurately.
Michael, the points that have updated, and that's kind of where the segue was that Jason was hitting on. And man, you got an 111-point lead over Gabriel Ellison, who climbed. Drivers fell out, like, of course, your teammate Gowen and Rivers. Ryan Bloom was kind of mentioning the hole he's in now. Even though he finished second, he's 174 points back. That's almost 200 points to running you down. What is the mindset here? Obviously, are you thinking running for that championship, or is it just kind of just picking and choosing what races you could run, what you can do, or are you going to make a full effort to try to be at Vegas next week and try to run every event for the year? Because obviously the numbers have been down a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm going to make an attempt to make every race. That was kind of the plan, even starting out. I did not know that the lead was that significant. I think the last time I really looked at the points was probably a race or two after Talladega, and I knew Nick and I were really close, and we had a decent gap on third, but that's a It's a pretty insane gap. So I'm just gonna try to show up every week and hopefully be able to run top 5 every race. That's the goal, and that should make it hard on anyone else to catch up.
Well, Bud, before I let you go, thank your sponsors and congratulations to you, man. 3 wins down. You, of course, joined going with 3 wins, your teammate.
Yeah, thank you guys in the booth for putting on the broadcast. All the other drivers. That second race, surprisingly, was, I think, a lot cleaner. Moscow Joe's on the truck, Rapid Fired Pizza, my teammates at Eons, Clinton for putting this thing on, and everyone out there watching.
Sweet Pete Atlanta. Man gets it done. It's Michael Sturgill, and he's got a big lead also moving into next week, of course, at Vegas. Jason, always fun working with you, man. Have a safe trip down in Florida for your vacation. Thank your sponsors before we get off of here, buddy, and obviously thank your sponsor. Sorry about that. Your final closing thoughts, I meant to say, as we get ready to wrap it up, brother.
Yeah, I just got to thank LSRTV, all the guys on the car here tonight. We did so good in the race. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I had a blast calling tonight, man. It was really fun. This new Atlanta Motor Speedway really is something, and honestly becomes one of the probably the most unique tracks in stock car racing, or at least in the NASCAR side of things. It was really fun to watch. I know obviously I won't be here next week for Vegas, but I wish you guys all the best, and I'll definitely be tuning in probably at the Airbnb for sure if I'm not out with my buddies or whatnot. And looking forward to the rest of the season, man. It's been exciting. Can't wait to see it.
And, of course, we do want to thank our sponsors, guys like iRacing and, of course, LSRTV. Sponsors are available for the upcoming 2024 season. Pardon the pun. If you're interested, contact Rocket Racing Media, Charles Wooten, LSRTV on Messenger. And we definitely would love to chat with you for the upcoming season. Thanks again, as always, to iRacing. Of course, Click It RV. And we want to say thank you also to Sim Racer Hub for being the sponsor for the Challenge Winner Series. On to Vegas next Tuesday night. Don't forget, we got the Ford Entertainment Group PC Customs Friday night money race, 10:30 Eastern time. Going to be a big fun show Friday night. Charles Wooten and myself will be in the broadcast booth. We'll have it for you as we kick off again a full-fledged season in 2024. Proud to be in 4K Ultra HD, your home for sim racing. For Rocket Racing Media, Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten in production. For Jason Rockefeller, I am Wesley Outland. Congratulations to the man that you got to pull out a broomstick at A-Town for, Michael Sturgill, winning Sweet Pete Atlanta. Good night.